I appreciate the question, but anything in the realm of what we do, I don't like to spoil it. Those were the last words of John Cena in episode 4 of WWE Unreal, which just premiered. And these words, the last words of John Cena from episode 4, which is the second to last episode of this 5 episode series on Netflix, leads me to ask and inquire into some very big questions. See, John Cena has been saying, it's not a gimmick, I know wrestling retirements aren't real, but you won't see me after 2025 in the WWE competing as a wrestler. On Good Morning America on June 2025, John Cena said, quote, there's no way he's coming out of retirement after his retirement tour ends in December 2025. However, he also said in this documentary, episode 4, which is titled The Heel Turn, that John Cena does not like to spoil anything. So we have two competing ideas. On the one hand, John Cena says he's going to retire this year, December 2025. He's gone. Not a gimmick. Wrestling retirements aren't real, but this is real. And at the very end of episode 4 on WWE Unreal Netflix, John Cena says, quote, regarding what we do, I don't like to spoil it. I don't like to spoil it. So we have two competing ideologies from John Cena. So what am I trying to say? What I think you might get the insinuation what I'm trying to say is that John Cena's retirement tour is fake. It's at least fake regarding this year. I think John Cena will be competing next year, and I think John Cena will be competing at WrestleMania 42 next year in Las Vegas. I think that will be when John Cena retires from the WWE ring. Now, why am I saying this? John Cena, one of the elements of John Cena's heel turn, his heel run, is that he says he's going to retire as the champion. He's going to retire as the last real champion, and he's going to take the title with him when he retires. Now, when John Cena retires, everybody's going to be shocked out of their mind when John Cena retires at Saturday night's main event in his hometown near Boston, Massachusetts. Everybody's going to be thinking, how the heck could John Cena retire winning without losing the title as a heel? And then at the end of Raw, a few weeks later in January, John Cena comes out with the title. He is the real champion. He is the champ again. It's going to be the biggest pop in WWE if John Cena retires at the end of this year as champion. Next year, Raw or SmackDown, the start of 2026, John Cena, they organize a competition, a battle royale, a triple threat match, a fatal four-way match to find the new WWE Universal Champion. Who knows who's competing in that match? Maybe it's CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Maybe it's CM Punk versus Cody versus Seth versus Gunther. They're going to scramble to do something at the end of the first Raw SmackDown 2026 to find a new champion when John Cena retires as champion undefeated in Saturday night's main event, December 2025 this year. And someone's going to interrupt that crowning new champion title match. It's going to be John Cena. You're going to hear that music, and John Cena is going to come out once again as the heel champion on the first SmackDown 2026. He's going to say, I'm not going anywhere. He's probably still going to be competing as a heel champion. He's going to say something very simple. He's going to say, hey, I said this was my retirement tour. I said I was retiring in December 2025. I said 2025 was my last year competing as a WWE wrestler. But you know what? Heels lie. Heels lie, and John Cena right now is the ultimate heel. He's living a great heel in the ring, and he's living a heel to a certain extent outside the ring, although not entirely. He hasn't fully embraced his heel persona outside the ring. So yeah, I'm certain John Cena is going to retire with the championship this year in December 2025 at Saturday Night's main event. And then he's going to shock the world when that happens. And the biggest shock is going to come in January 2026, where John Cena returns with the title. He's going to say something like, I said I was gone, but you know what? You people are all pathetic, and I'm the real champion, and you people suck without me. So that's going to be the biggest pop, one of the biggest pops ever, when John Cena returns in January 26 with the title. Now, let me get back to what John Cena said at the end of WWE Unreal, episode 4. He said, I appreciate the question, but in regards to what I do, I don't like to spoil it. I don't like to spoil it. So, John Cena will not spoil the fact that he is going to be there in 2026, at least for the first part of 2026 until WrestleMania. And John Cena, it will be the ultimate heel thing to do, to lie, to say I'm gone next year, but I'm not gone. It's just perfect because it's going to be the biggest pop ever when John Cena retires as the champion. And it's going to be an even bigger pop when John Cena returns next year on the first Raw SmackDown 2026 as the champion, as the last real champion. So, watching John Cena say, I don't like to spoil it, is why I think John Cena, not only do I think it, I'm almost certain that it's going to happen. Which is a little bit ironic, because they said I don't like to spoil it, but when John Cena said, I don't like to spoil it, he basically, in some way, spoiled it. Something's coming, something's big, it's coming. I thought John Cena maybe doing a double turn like Bret Hart and Steve Austin in WrestleMania 13 would be the way to turn Cody and turn John Cena. That would be the way to finish John Cena's retirement tour as a babyface. Now, I don't actually think it's a good idea to turn Cody Rhodes heel, but that's another subject, and I'll make another video on that. However, it would be the shortest and quickest way to have Cody and John Cena have an epic match at SummerSlam, and a way to kind of ride out John Cena as a face. Now, I predicted that John Cena would face Gunther in his final match. You know, Gunther's obviously the top heel in the WWE right now, so it makes sense why John Cena would face Gunther. However, I no longer think that's going to happen. That's probably the second option. The most likely option is John Cena retires as champ in December 2025 in his hometown near Boston, Massachusetts, and he returns to the biggest pop ever when he returns in January 2026 for the beginning of his retirement tour, his real retirement tour. And I think John Cena will probably have his last match at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas in April next year. John Cena loves WrestleMania, and I think kind of that's how John Cena, his career should end that way. And having a retirement match or a retirement on a televised program which is interrupted by advertisements, as we've seen with what happened to Goldberg, that's not a good thing to do. And it's an ideal thing to retire on a pay-per-view, especially a pay-per-view like WrestleMania. So I'm almost certain that John Cena will be competing in next year's WrestleMania. I'm almost certain that when John Cena says, hey, I'm retiring this year, I'm definitely retiring. It's not a work, it's not a gimmick. I'm done. I'm old. No, John Cena will be competing at WrestleMania this year. He doesn't like to spoil it, but he did spoil it in WWE Unreal. I am certain that John Cena will be competing at WrestleMania next year. And you can mark my words with that. Now, I'm not a financial expert or anything, so don't take this as financial advice. Don't sue me if I'm wrong, but John Cena will be competing at WrestleMania next year, and that will probably be his real retirement. And I hope John Cena turns face somewhere between January 2026 and April 2026, because it would be a real shame if John Cena retires as a heel. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll actually review the WWE Unreal series. Thank you very much.